This video will show you how to beat the Dark Aether 30-minute regular sigil run. The strategy you see in this video uses items that you can get from a normal 45-minute deployment into Kazakhstan. If you pick up even one tip from this strategy, then I know my videos help someone. If you do, feel free to drop a comment and let me know about it. Or if you're a Dark Aether guru, then throw in some tips in the comments that you think can help some folks. All are welcome. I tried several times to get the perfect amount of items in my inventory, but what I found is I couldn't get the perfect items in there. So I had to go with what I had on that given run, because that's how we normally play. I happen to have 2 legendaries on me simply because I was trying to get them out of my stash, not because I was trying to prepare for this run. And the dog bone was for the same reason. I had multiple dog bones in my stash. Normal player can get a dog as well by going to the tier 3 dog house, and I have a video on that as well if you need help getting one. This is my loadout for the tiers, and you'll be running these akimbo. Another option you can go with the laser is the 1MW pistol laser, but in this video I am using the Scarlet mounted laser. And here's my loadout for the swarms. Once you load in, your main purpose is going to be to get more money and the right equipment before you enter the Dark Aether. Go ahead and use the things that you came in with and start doing contracts. This video also assumes that you're not running around asking for money and you plan on doing this all yourself. Now I'm sure you noticed I didn't start off with any Pack-a-Punch crystals, but I was lucky enough to loot a Pack 2 crystal and a Pack 1 crystal during the game that I used immediately. Both of these saved me time as I started off with nothing, and when it gets down to entering the Dark Aether, oftentimes you get short on time for getting your items. You want to make sure that you have all your perks before you go in. This can be done by hitting up a soda machine there in the red zone. Also, if you don't get them before you zone in to the Dark Aether, in the little gas station area that's right at the beginning of the Dark Aether, there is also a soda machine in there. There's also a Pack-a-Punch machine inside the Dark Aether in case you fall a little short and you end up having to kind of get the rest of your money while you're in there. There is not a buy station, so you need to get whatever you need from there before going in. This is what I ultimately had to work with when I entered into the Dark Aether. I had 2 turret circuits, 2 sentry guns, 2 selfies, the sigil to get in, which I looted while doing contracts in tier 3, and an assortment of monkeys and Casimirs. The only thing that doesn't fit is the Aether blade. I got it from the previous run that was a failure and it was in my tombstone. I didn't use it in this run because I was trying to make a video about how to do it without those things. A good thing to know about the Dark Aether is that once you zone in, it will refill your consumables. So your armor will top off as full, your tactical and your lethals will as well. That's why you see me swapping out my monkey as a tactical, because I only have 1 right now. When I zone in, I will have 2. When you're ready, activate the sigil. And yes, even if you're solo, you still have to vote yes, even though you're the only one that clicked on the thing to begin with. A nice surprise you get when you zone into the Dark Aether is if you lost your dog during the game, you now get him back. One thing I did differently in this game than I normally do in them is that I took out the Abomination first. I usually avoid him and go off to the left just before this archway. But instead of having to deal with him at the end, I went ahead and took care of him now and thought it was better use of one of my turret circuits, because there's usually a turret circuit right there to the left. Once you're done with the Abomination, head off to the east or southeast to pick up the first contract, which is an Aether Extractor. This is the order that I went in, and I think that is most efficient, which is Aether Extractor first, Escort, and then Outlast. Another thing I did differently than I normally do is that I cleared all the zombies out from around the area. I decided to take my time since I technically have 10 minutes per contract and they really don't take that long. So I was able to make sure that I was stocked up, armored up, and ammoed up before I headed into the first contract and in between the contracts. I prefer brain rot on my pistols because it effectively gives me an extra member of my squad that runs around one-shotting his buddies. The bunny is on the top roof of the building that was used in DMZ as buy stations. On the ground floor, there is also an ammo cache to refill your ammo. When you're ready, the quickest way is on the west side of the building, there, which is the side that faces where you entered in at. It's got a ladder, goes all the way up to the roof. You'll hear the bunny as you're walking up to it, pick it up and accept the contract, and then you can fly down and head over to the wall where there's a rope you can go up. Clear out the initial area and activate the extractor. Don't forget, all these crystals on the ground could potentially have armor plates, tacticals, lethals. Go along this wall and into the first building and up to the ladder. Fight your way out and you'll find the second extractor. Go right behind it, up the ladder, and you'll be able to glide down to the third one. If you don't jump by going up the ladder, you can still glide in straight through the window below it and just take the ladder up one stair. Once you've cleared everything around it and done the last extractor, a reward rift will open up and destroy anything in its immediate vicinity. So you'll have a few minutes to loot, but you don't have all day because eventually reinforcements are coming. To get to the next one, just go along the wall, turn to the left, and then glide down to the next bunny. Be prepared for some of them to come get you, but activate the bunny, and you can also jump down from there as well. I will play the entirety of the Escort, as there's always something to be gleaned from there, and this is the hardest one of all. Too often can you run out of things like monkeys and such like that when you're doing the Escort, so that's why I'm taking my time, or at least trying to take my time, and going around and looking for those things that are on the ground. There is an ammo box in this next little location. As soon as you can, get the 2 turrets that you brought with you and put them on top of the escort vehicle. Here the thing was glitched and wouldn't let me drop the dang turret. You just gotta remember, sometimes you're the dog and sometimes you're the hydrant. As the vehicle runs over most of what's in front of it and takes no damage, you're going to want to point the 2 sentries backwards. And as you're putting out crowd control items, you're going to throw them behind the vehicle as well to assist with getting those things killed. Check the containers in the buildings around you and you'll probably find some selfies and other items. Of the 3 missions, this one is the longest and usually the one that people have the most trouble with. They don't always have deadbolt turrets at each of the stop locations. This one did have a deadbolt turret at the first location. If I were to go back and do it again, I would start the deadbolt turret before I started the vehicle. It'll last plenty long enough for you to get around the corner and get past it. I think I took damage there that I didn't need to take.
Sentry gun deployed.
When you're ready, go ahead and start the ACV.
System boot in progress. Stand by. Please stand clear. Vehicle moving en route.
When you're throwing out monkeys, Casimirs, other crowd control items, it's important to note that the specials like your disciples and your manglers will ignore them. So you need to concentrate on them when the items are out and doing their job. Now here, the thing's already down below 80%, and if I'd have had that turret going before turning that corner, that's another 20+% that I took that I didn't need to take, and it makes it harder for the rest of the run. If you're finding any of this helpful or just you just enjoy it, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. It helps me out a lot and lets me know I'm helping other folks. Appreciate you. Thanks. Now here I knew I had enough room, so I went ahead and threw a monkey directly in the path of the ACV because I wanted them to get pulled in there and have the ACV run them over. Be prepared and kept chain throwing Casimirs and monkeys. Try and keep an eye on your armor. I've had 5 plates for a while here, but I didn't know it when I was in the game. You tend to get tunnel vision with that much action going on. The money for the last mission, which is the Outlast contract, is going to be on the dashboard of a bus on the south side, just a little bit west from dead center south. It'll be about right here. Once you've picked up a contract, right behind it's a little arrow showing you a rope that you can go up. Turn to the right and immediately there's another rope. Here I walked kind of past it. Go up, go along the wall and down into the area where you'll do the Outlast contract. Like other Outlast contracts, if you go outside the area, it will stop progression. If you go down, you're going to lose as well. Your best strategy in here is to try and avoid them as much as possible. I brought in my second weapon and had it on the... I brought in my second weapon and had it ready to go so that I could take ammo pressure off of my primary weapon. Still use any monkeys and Casimirs that you may have, but when it comes down to running, go along the wall and then just jump off midway through the balcony. That'll give you the most time and distance from the zombies that are chasing you. Now once it's over with, there's still going to be quite a few that you're going to need to finish off, so don't let your guard down while you're looting. Now here I got an Aether blade case and an Elder Sigil. Now when you're done, go up any of the four corners. The tower on the southeast side is going to have your extraction rift. Successful exfil and you've cleared it. Hope you enjoyed it and I'll catch you in the next one.